Hi, Louise here, Director of Character Education at Role Models. Here are 5 quick top tips for helping your child return to school with as much confidence as possible. Number 1 is to start talking about and imagining school well before the day that they return. For many children, they might be super excited about seeing their friends. For others, you might be met with, I don't want to go back to school. Now, both responses are completely normal and nothing to panic about. I don't want to go often really means I'm not sure about it. And what we can do is help our child explore that feeling of not being sure and start to bring school back into their everyday lives. Let's ask them about what they're looking forward to. What's the best thing to have for lunch that you're looking forward to having again? Can we remember all the names of your teachers? But bring into your everyday dialogue, let's start imagining school and thinking about it. And that will help them move back into that place of feeling confident about it. Number 2 is the idea of connecting with others before the return to school. And, often children might be feeling a little bit anxious about that first interaction. We've all been outside of socialising for a while now. And I think if you can make that connection before the return, it will boost their confidence. So this might be as simple as sending a postcard into the class teacher or the class at school. It could be arranging a one-to-one online virtual show and tell with one particular friend. And just reaching out and making that connection will again boost their confidence. Number 3 is helping your child by preparing them for conversation. Again, we're all out of practice with socialising, and this can be very simply and subtly done with your child. Let's think of the fact that, you haven't seen your friends for a while. Let's think of one super funny story from your time at home that you would like to tell them about. Or let's think of one super whizzy question that you want up your sleeve so that when you're chatting to your friends and maybe you can't think of what to say next, you've got this brilliant question to ask them all. Number 4 is about staying connected. I think for many parents and children, we've got very used to spending a prolonged amount of time together, and the idea of being separated can cause some anxiety. So a very quick thing you can do is on the inside of your wrist and your child's wrist is to draw a very small symbol. Now this could be a small heart or a star or whatever you think might work for your child. And we simply say, when you feel like you're missing me, touch your symbol, and I'm going to do the same. And it's a way that we can feel connected throughout the school day, even when we're apart. Number 5 is actually more for us as parents rather than children, but it can work with them too. We need to think about turning what if into what is. Now, for many of us, we've got a lot of uncertainty perhaps around the success of the return to school. What if my child is behind academically? What if their particular class bubble has to self-isolate again? What if my child is feeling overwhelmed and exhausted? When we notice these what ifs popping up, they're not productive for us. And what we need to do is to focus on what is certain. So perhaps that might be the fact that my child is excited about seeing their friends. The return to school is exactly what is the best thing for my child right now. And maybe it's just remembering that my child's well-being is just as important as any amount of academic progress they're making. And to finish off, I like to just remind all of us that our children are actually far more resilient than we perhaps give them credit for. They will no doubt all respond to this transition in different ways, but let's try and let go of those what ifs and help our children return to school with as much confidence as possible. I hope those ideas have been helpful.